All right guys, so today I'm going to be testing out some of my favorite cases for my iPhone 16 Pro. The first case I want to go over is the O Fitness case. Now I already made a video about, well, it was an integration about this case. This is the O Fitness case, and basically one of the reasons why I like it so much is because of how it is formed. So you actually have to kind of feel this in hand to see what I'm actually talking about. I'm trying to get some close-ups, but basically one of the reasons why I like this case so much is because just how it is shaped. Like it's really hard to explain, but basically every single edge is very cornered, so it makes it very comfortable to hold in the hand. Some cases are just kind of sharp and pointy and they just don't feel good in your hand. And so for that reason, I really do like how they put the extra effort in and it had this kind of curved kind of design on this case. Now these other cases I'm going to be going over also does have this kind of feature, but this one is probably the most prominent to me personally. But that's just one of my favorite things about this case. Obviously this does have a stand on the case. That's one of the most popular features about their cases. Every single case I'm gonna be going over has this feature. So basically, pretty much however you wanna stand your phone, you could do it with any of these cases I'm gonna be talking about. But that's one of the main reasons why I like this case as well, is because of that function. With other cases, you don't really have that. So with these, no matter which case you like, it's gonna have this kind of feature, which I really do like. Now, as you guys know, I'm a button fiend. I love buttons. I love cases that have clickable buttons. And with this case, is no exception, as you guys can see. Super clickable and super satisfying to press. That's something that Taurus does really, really well, is their buttons are they're pretty much perfect. It's basically the best button you can press on any phone case, and these are just plastic buttons. So that just lets you know how satisfying these buttons actually are. It literally feels like I'm pressing the actual phone button, but I'm actually pressing the plastic button on the outer case, which I really do like because it just blends in with the case. So I really do like that they're added, hard plastic buttons on this case. And also guys, with this case, it does have the camera control button. This is the new updated case. So basically it is an aluminum, I'm pretty sure that's aluminum button for the camera control. So basically it works just like if you didn't have a case on your phone at all. That's literally how it feels navigating through this. It's probably one of the best camera control buttons I've ever tested, especially navigating through it, because this is a brand new sensor on the iPhone 16 series. So I really, really do like that they made this super, super easy to control and made it feel very premium as well. So yeah, this is the O3 Fitness case, one of my favorite cases. There are also multiple colors you can choose from. I just really, really like this case. Nice and simple, nice, easy protection, and of course it has that stand right there. All right, so the next case is the Q3 Soft Tune. So basically, this is actually kind of similar to the previous case. Obviously, it's by the same company, but this case right here has a very, very satisfying and grippy texture to the case, which I really do like, because some of the cases out here are just kind of slippery to use and just not that satisfying, comfortable to use. But with this case, because of the grippy, like silicone kind of feel, it feels very, very good in the hand. And I feel like I'm never gonna drop this case, which again is very important. You don't wanna drop your phone in general, but if you do, this case is also very, very protective as well, which I really do like. Obviously, it does have that stand. It is a little bit different. It moves a little bit differently, but it still has the same kind of features. You can stand it pretty much however you want, which obviously that's a really, really cool thing. Another thing with this case, guys, this case actually has metal buttons, which is a little upgrade from the previous case that we talked about. So let's do the button test right here. Dude, how do they do that? That is so satisfying. So yes, these buttons are of course very clickable, very satisfying to use, but they are metal buttons. So if you're the person that likes a little bit more premium feel with your buttons, you really, really like the aluminum buttons, this case does have that versus the other case does not. So if that's something you're looking out for, this case has that. And another thing that I do want to mention, guys, with all these cases, I don't really need to go through it with every single case, but it does have a nice screen lip and also camera lip protection. So basically, no matter which way you put this phone down, screen down, or camera down, your phone is going to be protected while using these cases. They're very, very strong and durable cases, so you don't really have to worry about laying your phone down a certain way or anything like that. No matter which way you lay it down, it's going to be protected, which obviously is a very important thing when you're buying a kind of protective case. And of course, this also has the camera control button. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same button. They just stuck it in there. And so it's aluminum and it feels very, very premium, and it really kind of matches the aesthetic of the metal button kind of style with this case specifically, because like I said, this case does have metal buttons. So it kind of is nice that it matches that aesthetic, and it kind of just feels overall a super premium case with, satisfying clickable buttons, metal buttons, mind you. So yeah, that is something I really do like with that case, and something that isn't really seen on the Apple case. Obviously the Apple silicone case, it feels pretty similar to this, but obviously it doesn't have metal buttons. So if you want a little bit more of an upgrade, obviously it has a stand It has metal buttons. It is overall a little bit better than the Apple silicone case. So if you're rocking the silicone case, the Apple silicone case, want a little bit more premium of a case, this is the one for you. All right, guys, and now the final case I want to be talking about in this video. This is my favorite case through Torres, probably because it's the most expensive and it just feels the most premium in my personal opinion. This is the Q3 Air. Now, this case is pretty loud with the colors that I have right here. Here it is. Now, I know you might be saying it is very loud and colorful, and I do have to say that it is. I'm usually not the person to get this kind of color of a case, but when I first held it in my hand, I was like, okay, I really do dig this kind of color combination, this kind of wild color configuration. I am really digging it. So with this case right here, it is basically like a kind of in between the two cases I talked about previously. A cool thing about this one though is that it's a little bit more protective. So if you're the person that drops your phone a little bit more than the average person, this is kind of the case that I would go for just because it adds the little bit more protection. It is actually military grade drop protection. So basically it has a little bit more drop protection for those people that drop your phone a little bit more than the average person, which is totally fine. But if you are that kind of person, then this is the kind of case that you need to get. This case does have also, of course, satisfying clickable buttons. And it does also have these nice grip patterns on the side, which I really, really do like. And honestly, more case companies need to add this because sometimes when you're having this kind of matte textured case, it is kind of a little bit slippery, and sometimes when someone's not used to like a kind of matte textured case, it could be a little bit slippery. So I really do like that they add these kind of grip patterns on the side of the case, so it makes it a little bit more grippy to hold in the hand, which obviously is something that I really do like with this specific case right here. Now this case also does have the camera control button, the updated camera control button, so it's exactly like the previous two cases I talked about, which it is metal and it does actually match. It's a nice red color, matches the case perfectly. I don't really know how they matched it that well. It looks very, very good. And obviously with the blue one, it's a nice hinted blue color on that one as well. I personally do like the darker red color because it just looks more poppy kind of, and I kind of prefer red over like blue, but the blue one looks very, very good as well. Obviously this does have the stand as well, so you can sit it however you want, which obviously if you're looking for this kind of case, that is something that you're going to want. But again, this is with every single case I'm talking about. So obviously if you just want the cheapest version of it, the O Fitness one will be perfect for you. But if you want that little bit added protection and just durability with the case, then the Q3 Air is the one for you. So yeah, hopefully this video helped you out on which Torres case you should get for your iPhone 16 series. If this video did help you out and you actually picked one of these cases, let me know down in the comments below. I would love to know which case you guys picked out. And if you guys didn't pick out a case, let me know which one is your favorite also in the comments below. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.